We'd been in this home for a number of years and actually were preparing for retirement and had made an investment that turned out to be a very bad investment. And we invested our life savings for retirement. At the same time, my husband started having health problems. I became almost overwhelmed. We had a daughter late in life. She was preparing to go to college, and my husband, I thought, had come through 3 open heart surgeries. Very, very stressful medical bills. His health had gotten really bad, and so at the end, he continued to just spiral downward, and I became probably at my weakest point. I've always felt like I was strong and maybe optimistic, but so many things had happened with the financial loss, with his health, with knowing that I had to carry all of the burden, and was overwhelmed as far as figuring out how to survive. I would have never thought of giving up my home, losing a property that we had worked really hard to maintain and to get. I felt like that was the most important thing to me and my daughter. I was doing some research on my own for possibilities of what might be out there. A number of homes were going into foreclosure. A number of people were losing jobs. There just wasn't any work, any gainful employment to be had, and so that wasn't working well for me, so I started looking for options. I went and met with the folks there, and they were wonderful.
When she came in, she was skeptical. She wasn't sure, although she had gone through the intake process, and during that intake process, part of that is explaining what the programs are and kind of directing them in what direction they should be going. She didn't know a lot about it, but talking with Mary, who's our intake person, she helped her to understand a little bit, but she was still skeptical when she came in. She wasn't sure how it worked. It was kind of too good to be true, and she was being a part of that Ponzi scheme that she got caught up in, that she was afraid it was not a legitimate program. But right away, I started explaining to her how it worked and expressing to her that it's true, it works. I've had all these clients, and I've told her how many loans I closed working with clients, and it made her feel better.
When I met Robbie, he was so concerned, and he allowed me to open up. He showed me lots of empathy, his compassion, and his understanding about where I had been, and directed me in the direction that I should go was just so invaluable to me. In fact, I walked out the door feeling like a weight had been lifted, just the burden had been removed.
After talking to her and going through her financials and gathering the documents needed to submit to the agency, we realized that she was a candidate for this loan. And really, it was just a matter of telling her, that this is how the program worked, explaining the process as far as what we'll do is we'll gather all this information, we submit it to the agency, the North Carolina Housing Finance Agency out of Raleigh, and then they determine if they underwrite the loan and determine if they're approved. Once I called her to tell her she was approved, I could hear the relief. But when she came in, she was like a different person, and she was just very thankful, grateful. She just feels like that this really gave her the reprieve she needed to try to focus on finding a job or work that she can kind of start over. She's had a lot of transitions in her life, so I think this has given that reprieve.
The Salisbury Community Development Corporation has absolutely meant everything to me as I've been going through this very difficult time. Their help has actually lifted me to a level that I've become more confident. They've given me the opportunity to maintain my home, and that in and of itself has given me and my daughter a level of security. It's made us more stable. It's made us more comfortable as we've gone through this. I feel like that they have done, almost an immeasurable job for me in the efforts and in what the result has been, and made such a difference in my life that I would have probably taken a different direction, and I feel like that for my daughter and myself, it would have not been nearly as positive as it is today.